Early Monday, at the East African Court of Justice Registry at the second floor of the Milimani Law Courts, former Nairobi Governor Mike Mbuvi Sonko, together with his lawyers, came to formally lodge their petition in what they say is a quest for justice for Sonko, who wants to be the Mombasa's county chief.
For the first entry into the judicial process, the court that dealt with this matter, one Justice Chitembwe, has been suspended. Reasons being that Governor Sonko raised a petition challenging the integrity of that judge. The same JSC suspended him and he is facing a tribunal appointed by the president.
In the petition, Sonko has highlighted 13 instances where the Supreme Court violated the law and in effect denied him justice. They include the fact that the court acknowledged a decision made by Justice Chitembwe on the Sonko case despite the judge being ousted over graft allegations. Also, among Sonko's cries is the fact that the Supreme Court did not nullify the decision of the High Court in Mombasa that directed the IEBC to include Sonko on the ballot. The Supreme Court acted in a manner likely to suggest bias against Sonko. Sonko also wants the court sanction for the fact that the Supreme Court admitted it had no jurisdiction to hear Sonko's appeal, while arguing that the move to bar those impeached from holding office as being too harsh.
Remember, the decision of the Supreme Court, if it is upheld, it is a permanent imprisonment for Sonko, that he can never hold any public office till he dies. Probably he can go to get another public office in heaven, but in this world he can't. It is such a grave question. It is not a light matter that destroying one's career permanently. Governor Sonko does not know any other profession other than the profession of politics.
And now, Sonko wants the Chief Justice removed from office for what he says is going against the dictates of the law.
Very express instructions to file a petition to JSC for removal of the CJ and any other judge who was involved in condonation of the abuse of the process. By close of business today, we shall have filed that petition for removal as provided for under the law. There's no malice about it. We have instructions from our client that we should also pursue this matter administratively to the Judicial Service Commission.
In the ruling on Friday, Supreme Court justices maintained that Sonko's impeachment at the County Assembly and the Senate was in compliance with Article 181 of the Constitution and Section 33 of the County Government Act.
Based with these facts, are they violations of his fundamental human rights? Article 38, which provides of the Constitution, which provides for the political rights, have been buttressed by Article 2, sub-Article 6, that says any treaty or any convention signed by Kenya becomes a law of this country. Therefore, we have gone to seek justice.
The move by Sonko to try and unhinge himself from the provision of Article 75(3) that seeks to bar impeached individuals from vying on the exhaustion of avenues of appeal is, however, splitting legal opinions tonight, with a section of lawyers saying the move to lodge the appeal at the East African Court of Justice is a zero-sum game.
Remember that IBC has already acted and removed his, according to them, removed or revoked the clearance itself and their decision to clear. So as we speak now, he's not on the ballot. Remember, the number of days remaining for the general election is 21. And of course, it reaches a point where the interest of the majority will always outweigh or supersede the interest of an individual.
According to lawyer Dan Okach, despite being bound by treaties, the East African Court of Justice cannot overturn the decision of the Supreme Court of Kenya.
East African Court of Justice, I can assure you they do not have the mandate, the powers or the jurisdiction to give an order that IBC, or to direct IBC, because IBC will only recognize the courts and our constitution. And with the mandate EACJ has, it does not have that power to even give such an order. And it will not give and it cannot issue. So to a large extent, the reality, and people must start to know this, Sonko is cornered. Chapter 6 of the Constitution is what is at play here.
This comes even as the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission announced the disqualification of Sonko from contesting in next month's general election. In a letter to Sonko on Monday, IEBC Mombasa returning officer Swala Ibrahim Yusuf indicated that she revoked his clearance certificate after the Supreme Court rendered its judgment on his eligibility given his removal from office in 2020.